Cringe Assassin gets taken out by Jedi Master. Over in 10 minutes. First scene and done. This is the best Disney Star Wars ever. Liffarian Parzer here to give you a review on Star Wars. I mean, Star Cringe. You'll see what I'm talking about later in this video. If you were offered all the money in the world to write terrible, terrible fanfiction for Star Wars, will you do it? Will you accept Disney's offer to write the worst piece of Star Wars fanfiction? Well, if you said yes, you actually have competition, and that's the Acolyte. But if you look at it from another lens, it's actually very hopeful, the story of the Acolyte, because it shows that all organizations, no matter how corrupt, no matter how incompetent, no matter how much the people that run that organization are completely unintelligent, it could improve. Because look at the Jedi Order from the Acolyte. Then look at the Jedi Order from the prequels, which happened about 100 years after the Acolyte. A big improvement. The Jedi Order from the Acolyte wouldn't know how to tie their shoelaces. The Jedi Order from the prequels mediates conflicts. Very good at defeating Sith. And, well, they could actually do a proper investigation, isn't it? It's kind of the point. Anyway, let's get into Star Wars, The Acolyte. We start off in a pub, and a Jedi Master is drinking with a bunch of friends, maybe? Who knows? And then Cringe Assassin appears, and she says, "I will attack you with cringe. And I already did so with my presence. So attack me. Attack me now." And the Jedi Master said, "I don't cringe easy." And then the Cringe Assassin says, "I have beef with you. You have to attack me now." Wah! And he cries. She cries really, really hard. So hard, in fact, that it completely destroys all the men around her, because the wailing was too much for them, and they all keel over before she could even land a punch on them. And Jedi Master says, "I have now started to feel cringe. I will defeat you for my safety." And so she starts outclassing Cringe Assassin, fighting this cringe monster until Cringe Assassin is beaten. The end. There you go. That's the end of the story. Cringe Assassin gets taken out by Jedi Master. Over in 10 minutes. First scene and done. This is the best Disney Star Wars ever. Best ever. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Super sorry. Look, best show. I gotta admit, it's the best show. Only the best. I didn't even cringe, and I was able to finish it in 10 minutes. Well, no, actually, this is a Disney production, so it didn't end in 10 minutes. They extended it by killing Master Jedi with the cringe. The Cringe Assassin turns to the bartender and says, "You will cringe tonight." And bartender says, "No." As the bartender is nearly hit with a knife, Jedi Master stops the knife with the Force instead of doing something intelligent. And then Cringe Assassin throws a second knife at the Jedi Master. And Jedi Master gets hit with the knife through the chest. Now, as we all know, lightsabers through the chest don't do anything, so a small knife, steel knife, shouldn't do anything either. But then the Cringe Assassin says, "I have stuck you with The cringe. You have now become a meme. And the Jedi Master dies of cringe the very next second and rolls over on the ground. The cringe assassin says, I am so glad I am so cringe. And I am free. Taking the knife, she decides to kill the bartender. But the bartender said, I am more cringe than you, and I am a single father. And cringe assassin says, I respect your cringe, and walks right out of the establishment, leaving eyewitness to her cringery. This is where we figured out that the bartender was actually an avid poster on TikTok, and he posted the TikTok onto the HoloNet. And the Jedi Order figured out that a cringe assassin had assassinated a Jedi Master with the power of the cringe. And so they sent the cringe knight and Padawan to apprehend Osha, who they assume is the cringe assassin. But is she? Osha currently dealing with a fire in space. Yes, that's right. You thought that physics wouldn't allow fire in space. But as Minecraft taught us, you could have fire in the water. So fire in space, not too much of a stretch. Then Cringe Knight goes up to the Nemoidians and says, I think you have an OSHA violation on your ship. And the Nemoidians say, no, we don't do OSHA violations. We are the Trade Federation. And Cringe Knight says, I will take your OSHA violation information from your mind to see if you lie. And then the Nemoidians say, then I will cringe. She, OSHA, is in the ship. And Cringe Knight and Padawan go and confront the potential Jedi Master Killer. Now, you might think at this point, that's ridiculous. Why would the Jedi Temple and the Jedi Order send a Padawan and a Knight to apprehend a Master Killer? Well, that's because they know that Cringe Knight cannot be killed by cringe. So, cringe versus cringe, Cringe Knight will always beat Cringe Assassin. So, they were actually super intelligent in sending Cringe Knight against the Cringe Assassin. But it turns out that Cringe Knight is also very stupid and decides to arrest Osha and put her on a transport ship that is only piloted by droids. And then they break out. A bunch of people that were also being transported to prison on that transport ship breaks out because only droids were driving the ship. That's right. Droid ship has a droid hacker on it that hacks the droids that destroys the ship. Now, Osha is left without an escape pod because she helped a felon escape, a violent felon. And she crashes to the planet, and the Cringe Assassin dies on Ice Planet. Star Wars is safe, folks. I wouldn't say 100% on Rotten Tomatoes because we had to sit through a lot of cringe, but 75, not as bad as Ahsoka was. It's actually still pretty good. I will say it's a good show worth a watch. You know, it's only 35 minutes long, kind of thereabouts, so go give it a try. No, this is a Disney product. So she girl bosses and says, I will not die. And so she crashes onto the planet with a ship that doesn't have propulsion or shields or, in fact, anything. So she should have been vaporized, but she's not, with the power of OSHA certification. Then Cringe Knight and Padawan make it back to the Jedi Temple via a very lost art of the Jedi teleportation. That's right, because the people that wrote the show don't know that it actually takes time traveling from one system to another, so the Jedis invented the power of Jedi teleportation. They just appear places in nanoseconds, which kind of breaks the world because they can't do that in other cases, but if they're on a spaceship, Jedi teleportation, the most efficient way to travel. That's right. And they find Dumb Master. And Dumb Master says, I know OSHA. Why did we not investigate the crash site before we re-detained all of the escapees from the escape pods? And Cringe Knight says, my mistake. We should go investigate now, for I am cringe and free. And I don't have clothes on. And Dumb Master says, yes, I will take Cringe Knight with me. With the power of Dumb and the power of Cringe, we will defeat Cringe Assassin. So, Dumb Master takes a Padawan and a Knight to apprehend OSHA, which is what they should have done the first time, by the way, but they didn't. So they went to take OSHA down because now they actually have a master with them, which they should have had at the very beginning, because this is somebody you suspect was able to kill a master. You would expect that you will have a master and a couple of whatever. That is ranting aside. Logical inconsistencies aside. Dumb Master says, I know OSHA, and OSHA had a sister, and her sister died in a fire. But 10 seconds before, he literally said, don't trust what you see with your own eyes, because your eyes could be lying to you. But then he says with complete assuredness that I saw OSHA's sister die, so she's dead, for certain, until Dumb Master meets OSHA on Ice Planet. By the way, at this time, like, the mystery element of it is already out the window, because they already tell you. Yeah, they say, there's a sister. The sister's alive. Yep. So the Jedi's main goal now is to apprehend the sister. Like, what are you doing? But whatever. This is still a mystery, apparently, even though the audience knows what the mystery is. The end, we get it. It's not a mystery. But the showrunners think it's a mystery. And why they think that will be a mystery to me. So Dumb Master goes to OSHA, and OSHA throws herself off the cliff, and it is over. OSHA goes off the cliff. Our protagonist is dead. The villains have won due to Jedi incompetence. So sad. Well, you know, the evil villains won in the prequels, so I guess it would only make sense that the evil people win in the prequels of the prequels. So that is that. It is over. I will have to say 65% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a big waste of time, but at least I had a couple good laughs out of it, even though it didn't make sense at all. It's a Disney property. It doesn't end. So OSHA gets saved by Dumb Master and tells Dumb Master, I didn't do it. My sister is alive, and Dumb Master, for having the IQ of a inanimate object, says, I believe you, Osha. It must have been your sister. I get it now. Get on our ship. You are joining the crew. And Cringe Knight says, I have done some cringe things in my life, but nothing so cringe as this. Why are we doing so? But Dumb Master says, the Force. And Cringe Knight says, I understand the cringe. She will join the team. And that's the end of episode 1. Yep. Oh, no. I forgot. A rock in a mask does a monologue, and it says, you can't kill Jedi with conventional tools because it just doesn't work. Which is right, because the cringe assassin assassinated the Jedi with cringe. And so this person continues monologuing, saying, an acolyte kills without a weapon. Which is not true, because cringe is a weapon. Yes, that's right. Cringe is a weaponized form of existence. And a certain person's existence can make some other person die of cringe. Which means the acolyte kills with cringe as their weapon. Episode 2. Cringe assassin breaks into the money laundering temple. The local Jedi temple of tax fraud and money laundering. Because, well, we have fat Jedi and terrible security. Even though people know that there's an assassin going around killing people, Jedi Masters in particular. But we're not going to up security around Jedi Masters. Yes, because it's the money laundering temple. So, Cringe Assassin goes in to kill Master Meditator. And Master Meditator says, I have a high cringe tolerance level. And Cringe Assassin says, oh yeah? Well, cringe on this. And she fights with air for like 5 minutes. And then she tries to jump kick the Master of the Force, Master Meditator. And Master Meditator meditated so hard that Cringe Assassin snaps her neck on the stool as she tumbles over and over, and it ends there. The bad guys lost because Master Meditator had such a strong Force presence. It's over, everybody. Still, it's a very bad show now, but it ended very quickly, so I could give it a pass. A 47% Rotten Tomato score. Aren't you glad? It ended quickly. Did it end quickly? No. Cringe Assassin leaves. And then we go to a scene of Dumb and Dumber doing dumb things in a ship, being dumb, while Cringe Assassin talks to the potion seller. And the potion seller says, you don't need my poison. Just make sure he looks at you, and Master Meditator will cringe so hard he will disappear into the ether. But then Potion Seller says, I need to make money, so I'm going to give you this poison. And the Cringe Assassin says, I will now assassinate the Jedi Master. And she walks right back into the money laundering temple, where somebody had made a TikTok of her so that the Jedi Order knows that Osha isn't the cringe assassin, because Osha can't be in two places at the same time, which is the only logical thing done so far. TikTok and two people can't be in two. I mean, one person can't be in two places at the same time, so there must be two people. Yes, there you go. And so, cringe assassin walks back up to the Master of Meditation. And Master of Meditation says, "You have come back to make me cringe?" And cringe assassin says, "I have not make you cringe. You will look at me and see what you did to my family in the fire." And that's when Master Meditator made a mistake. The moment he opened his eyes and saw the mop of a human being in front of him, he cringed so hard. But he didn't want to die of cringe, because dying of cringe is painful and lowers your social credit score in China. So he took the poison and went away himself with his own power, under his own will. And cringe assassin says, "I did it. I made him free." And then we have like a long scene of no tension, because they instantly diffuse it, saying Osha isn't the cringe assassin because Osha is compliant with government regulations, so she's not free, and so she's not cringe. And Osha disappears because she is needed by Dumb Master, and Dumb Master and the Padawan overrules Cringe Knight to entrap Potion Seller. And Osha walks into Potion Seller's lair and said, "I am cringe." And at that moment, she was no longer Osha compliant. And then the Potion Seller said, "And you are free from the influence of Jedi." "Oh, and did your cringeness kill Jedi Master Meditator?" And Osha said, "Yes." And then Potion Seller incriminates himself by telling them all about the poison, and Cringe Knight comes in and says, "You're under arrest." But Dumb Master said, No, if you cooperate. No. If you cooperate, we will let you go." And Dumb Knight and Potion Seller says, "Free passage? I roleplayed GTA. No face, no case." And Dumb Master says, "Oh, you are so right. But before we let you go, tell us, who else is cringe assassin trying to kill?" And so Potion Seller sells out cringe assassin lady. And then Dumb Master fights cringe assassin. And because Dumb Master is so dumb, he doesn't know how to cringe. He is physically incapable of cringing. And that is when cringe assassin met her fate at the blade of Dumb Master, and it was over. The evil has lost. Even though Potion Seller escapes, evil has most definitely lost. No, because it's Disney, and they need to drag on the show for a bit longer. So, cringe assassin escapes, and Osha says, "No, you can't escape, not like this. I'm going to fire bullets into your vehicle and incapacitate you." It doesn't work, because she has terrible aim. And so, cringe assassin escapes. And this is when the producers of the show step in and say, "Dumb Master, you cannot traverse the plot any longer. You must come back to the main Jedi Temple and we must do some conversation about what we do next. Why? Why would you do this? What? How? Do you know where Cringe Assassin is going? Even Dumb Master says, I don't have time for this. I know where Cringe Assassin is going. We are going to defeat Cringe Assassin once and for all. But no, the writers say we must pause the plot so we get 8 episodes. And so that's the end of episode 2. Yes, the writers literally stepped into the show and said, no, you are solving the case too quickly. End it. You know, there's going to be a lot more. I feel like I have a lot more content to talk about once episode 3 comes out. But yeah, is Disney secretly based? Is he saying that DEI completely ruins any franchise it's a part of? There's no way somebody is so unintelligent to write this mess. And I think I made it sound more logical. And it's a joke. It's a joke video, and I made it sound logical. No shot. My summary of what happened in the Acolyte makes more sense than what happens in the Acolyte, because I just can't fathom the dumb of the Acolyte. Anyways, I think that's it for me. I'm gonna see you in episode 3. I will do a summary of that. I heard it's really bad because the first 2 episodes, not doing any favors for my confidence in this show. Yep. So, that's that. So sad. Ruined Star Wars again. But at least it made the prequels better, because it shows that the Jedi always improve. See you next time. Honestly, I don't know why they do that. It's just so ridiculous. How can somebody be so stupid?